Reynolds here from my studio. I thought we would do something fun today. It's called an Elements of Art Scavenger Hunt. Now, we've done something like this before in the classroom, but this is going to be a little bit different because you have to find things in your house or in your yard that are the different elements of art. So there are 7 different elements of art, and on this scavenger hunt, you're going to have to find all 7 and draw them. So you've got to find something with texture, line, shape, value, space, form, and line. Did I already say line? I think I already said line. Write them all down so that you can have an idea of what you're going to do for all 7 elements. Okay, first thing you need is a piece of paper. It can be lined paper, it can be computer paper, your choice. The next thing you're going to need is a pencil. You'll also need some kinds of crayon, marker, or something to add color with. So we're going to take our piece of paper, we're going to take the top part, we've created 4 rectangular sections on this side and 4 sections on this side. Now we're going to take our pencil and just draw a line along that fold. And then in this section, you're going to write, you can write your name, or you can write start with color. So let's go ahead and write color in that first section. Write line, texture, shape, form, value, and space. The first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go and we're gonna find something that has color. It can be primary color, secondary color, it's your choice. Miss Reynolds looked around and found a troll doll. So I'm going to draw my troll doll right here. There we go, we've got our color. So we're gonna look for something that has a line. It can be a straight line, like our pencil is a straight line, so you could draw your pencil right there. You could find something that goes at a diagonal line, something that's vertical, or something that's horizontal, like our pencil. I've got my cord for my iPhone, so you can draw that. I could even take it and wrap it up to get a swirly line.
My phone line, it's swirling around. There we go, there's my line.
The next element is probably one of my favorites, texture. And for this one, Miss Reynolds went outside. So I went outside and I found a leaf that had texture in it. So you can see all of the different lines in that leaf. So right here, I'm gonna go ahead and draw this leaf. Let's flip our paper over. The next element that we find is shape. Now shape is gonna be fun. Shape, we're actually gonna divide it into 2 sections because there are 2 different kinds of shape that I want us to focus on. We've got geometric. And geometric is a shape that you can measure and it has a name. And then up here in this section, we're gonna write the word organic. And organic is a shape that comes from your imagination. It can't be measured, it doesn't have a name. So for geometric, Miss Reynolds looked around for something that had a geometric shape, something that has a name. Miss Reynolds found one of her favorite treats, Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, and the container that it's in is a what? It's a square. That is my geometric shape because I knew looking at it, it was a square. Now for my organic shape, I'm gonna just imagine some fun shape that I'm gonna invent right now. There we go. Doesn't have a name, can't be measured, it's an organic shape. Form is kind of like shape, but shapes are flat. Form is when something is 3D. So Miss Reynolds found a Lego block. So this Lego block is 3D, and one of the best ways to draw something that's 3D is you start with the basic shape you see first. So if I looked at this flat down like this, I can see that it is a square. But when I turn it and see it at an angle, you can see that it's a 3D square. So I'm going to start by drawing a square, and then I'm going to choose which way I want to see it from. And if I see it from that way, I can see these edges. So I'm going to draw from here down at an angle. Now the trick is to make it look 3D, all of them have to go the same direction. So I also see this line right there, so I'm going to draw that one down and this line right there. Then I'm going to use this same line that I put on my square down at the bottom, and the same line I put on this edge of the square right there. Value is the dark and light of something. So if I took my pencil and pressed really hard, I get really dark pencil marks. Now if I go over here on this side and I press very lightly, you can barely even see that. Slowly take your pencil and go from pressing really hard to pressing pretty normal, and then slowly get to the point where you're pressing so light you can barely even see it. That is value. So you can make a value scale if you'd like in this section. You can also look for things that have value. So if I look at this pencil sharpener from the classroom, it's got this dark black outer edge and then this light gray inner edge right there. Something with value, light and dark. Space is a little bit complicated. Space is the distance between two objects. So like right now, if I put this pencil here and that crayon there, there's space in between those two. And this is a kind of tricky concept. This is my succulent, and I'm going to draw it. So I'm going to turn it sideways so that you can see. Something important to know about space is when you look at an artwork, there's positive space and negative space. Positive is the main thing that you're looking at. So the positive space I would see here is my succulent plant. So I'm going to draw an arrow and write the word positive right there. Now the area around each individual leaf and around the pot, all around there, that is the negative space. So I'm going to put an arrow right here, just in between everything, and that is the negative space. My favorite way to think about positive and negative space is to draw a donut, maybe with some sprinkles on it. And the positive space is the donut. The negative space is around the donut and in the center of the donut. All right, once you have found all of these different elements, if you'd like to, you can pull out your crayons, anything you have to color with, and you can color them all, or you can leave it as it is. And you've got all 7 elements. As you're playing outside or playing in your house or reading books, doing anything over this time, I would try to look for those different elements of art: color, line, texture, shape, form, value, and space. If you have siblings at home and you want to make a challenge out of this, you can have a race by setting a timer to see who's the first person to finish getting all 7 elements of art, and maybe that person gets a treat. Have fun, guys. Keep making art.